All right. Hello, hello. We're live. Happy Wednesday. All right. So today we're going to be using all kinds of different strings, chains. We've got a little bit of ball chain here. We're going to do a kind of a chain pull. And this is kind of part two to 2 weeks ago. The live stream 2 weeks ago was part one of the chain pull technique or the string pull technique. We did not do any chain pulls on that one. We did string pull feathers and like basic string pull. Here's one that did not turn out so good. It really spread out, but this was one that was done just a basic. But we are actually going to go ahead and pour right over this one. There's a couple of cat hairs, but we're going to pour right over this one again today. So we have a variety of like smaller threads we're going to use. This is kind of a thicker thread. And then we have some kind of smooth, this came in like a kid crafting kit, like a thicker beading string. And then we have regular, just good old cheap cotton yarn. So we're going to use a variety of those and show you some different shapes of string pull and chain pull flowers. We're going to do a butterfly. We're going to kind of do a couple of just kind of abstract string pulls. So this one we're going to do, we've got all of our acrylic paint already mixed up. This needs a little bit more mixing. I was running a little bit late, but this is our white. All of our paint is mixed with Floetrol. And so we're going to use this as our base. For a string pull or a chain pull or any of that, you want your paint just pretty much the same consistency for the base, for what you're going to pull for the string. And we are not going to be using any silicone today. So just given that white kind of is hard to tell if you've got it mixed up. But we're just about got that one mixed up. And then we're going to put that base down. We've got this mixed 1 part paint to 3 parts Floetrol, US Floetrol, and then maybe about for this much, this is a pretty large cup, I've got about a tablespoon and a half water to make it really flow off the end of the stick real well. Today's colors we're going to be using. Hey, Whitney, how are you doing? Hey, Yasmin, how are you doing? Welcome. Today's colors, we've got pearl white. We've got a titanium white. We've got lamp black, all of the cheap colors. Then we are also going to use a little bit of the Color Shift Purple Flash, the Color Shift Plum Flat Flash, and then we are going to be using, gosh, these are beautiful colors. These are new to me colors. These Master's Touch, Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby, and it's going to be the Rouge and the Persian Red. And then we're going to be using Apple Barrel's Bright Magenta and Gold from Cheap Paint and Apple Barrel's Cobalt Hue. And there was going to be another one, this rose. I can't remember. It's Craft Smart, I believe. Craft Smart Rose. So those are the colors we're going to be using today. Oh, here it is. Craft Smart, yeah, Rose. Those are the colors we're going to be doing today. Cleaning, but that you could use a little bit of break to watch some. All right, awesome. Well, thank you. I hope you're having an awesome week. And oh, that's as soon as I get off the live stream and take a short little break, then that's probably what I'll be getting to is some cleaning. And then this here is Craft Smart Plum. We're also going to be using Craft Smart Plum. So some nice rosy, blushy pinks and plum colors today. So, all right, we've got just some white. This is a 10 by 10 inch canvas. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to flood the canvas. with a good amount of white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a string pull, kind of, we're going to do it a petal at a time. And it's going to be a kind of a different one than what we did 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was the basic. We're going to get kind of more into a little bit more in depth. We did feathers as well a couple weeks ago. Those turned out gorgeous. And then we're also going to do a couple more on the dried, where you do a string pull, put a little bit of Floetrol down and do a string pull on dried canvas as well. I'm just using my palette knife to spread this about on this canvas, just the white mix, my base mix just the same as all my colors. All right, shake the excess, make sure we're level. All right. So what we're going to do, get our strings. We are going to use just this regular old cotton yarn for this one. Let's go ahead and make sure. I'm going to give you a little bit more of a view. Sorry about that, guys, but that gives us a view of, I've just got plastic sheet. Then I'm going to put the paint down and going to string pull off of that. We're going to use a little bit of this rosy color. We're going to use a little bit of this plum color. Hey, Janice, how are you doing? How's your week? And then last week, I did show the dried results. Ooh, that is a lot, but that's okay. We're going to use it for a couple of different pours. So I went over the colors we're using today here a minute ago, but here's some of that color shift. But we're just getting some nice plummy, rosy colors down. This is a gorgeous pink. But okay, we're almost one more. Let's get some of this rouge. Wow, that's a pretty color too. A couple of new colors to me. But we're going to use that for a couple of different ones. So that'll be good. All right, so we just have about, 10 inches of cotton. We have cotton yarn. We have 10 by 10 inch canvas. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of dunk the middle. I'm going to keep my hand a hold of both ends this time. And we're going to go ahead and do it a petal at a time. We do not have any silicone today. I don't really want any silicone for this method. Just use my palette knife to kind of push that yarn down in. Once the yarn is wet, it'll really, sop it up a little bit better. But it's that first one to get it in there. But last week, I showed some of the dried projects that we did the week before and how they turned out. Wow, they turned out really beautiful, especially the one that we did a string pull on a dried canvas with Floetrol, because Floetrol does dry clear. So that was really nice. You're starting to like the color pink a little bit. These are nice rosy kind of, and then some nice like plummy colors. They're a little bit, there's some nice pinks. I don't know, I'm liking pink and pink more and more. Pink and pink more and more. Okay, trying to hold it's kind of honestly easier to do without the gloves, but so, okay, we're just going to do one kind of petal at a time and layer it up. Now we're just going to kind of pull that down. All right. Squeegee some of that excess off. But that's what's nice about using these plastic sheeting. All your skins dry right on there, and then you can peel them right off. So that's just kind of one little petal. So just a minute here. Okay. Just a second. Let me get a rag here. It's hard to hold on to, but what I can see is an issue. So I'm pulling it. We've got a lot of white. So what you can do with that, no big deal, is you can get a small cup. And we're just going to kind of scoop a little bit of this white that is puddled in the middle and then kind of spread that about and then go back around the all right, let's make it smooth there. And that's what the Floetrol is, self-leveling, so it'll level you back out there. So now we're going to go around and layer up all that, holding on both ends, dipping it down in. Once the string is wet, it picks it up a lot better. But we're going to layer up of each, and we're squeezing off the excess. Oh, a string pull on a canvas, on a dry canvas has changed your pouring world. That is awesome. Yeah, it's really fun. And it you can give a lot, you know, you can layer it up several layers too. So. And then we'll straighten up that middle here in a little bit when we get all the way. Kind of swirl the middle to give it, layer it up. Awesome. I'm so glad you found the channel as well, Whitney. I guess he might be a decent guy. He might be a keeper. Yes. All right. And I just go back and forth, kind of pulling down the center. And then I do have some of that color shift. So that doesn't, honestly, it's hard to see on camera. Once it's dry next week or a week or two, I'll show you guys, I'll move it around and you'll be able to see color shift a little bit better. Okay, just a moment. This one is not turning out like I was really wanting, but we're working with it. We're going to kind of just. I wonder if we can just. Oh, thank you. I didn't read that last one. He is pretty awesome. So are you. Thank you. Sorry, it's hard to pay attention and also read the chat, but I try to keep up on it. So now we're going to layer kind of a little bit further down. I'm just kind of. I'm not liking this center. I tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to actually put a little bit of paint right on the surface and pull the yarn through that. We're going to slow down. We're going to experiment a little with just doing it that way and see if we can get a little bit of a different look for layering the center. Okay. Just a second. Let me wipe my hands off. And now, all right, that's that. It's a plum from Craft Smart. I think it's actually Craft Essentials. Back when it was, so this is really older when it Craft Essentials. I don't even know if you can get that anymore. All right, so now we've got our string and we're just pulling. kind of giving a center to it in a way. Just kind of pulling it around, giving it kind of a center. Okay, so that is our first one on a 10 by 10 inch. I did get a drip here. If you get a drip, no big deal. You can fix that up. It's much easier to fix up when it's wet. So got rid of that drip and got rid of the kind of this wispy here that kind of, but that's kind of a layered up. So it does have the little bit of that color shift, so you can't quite see it as well. But so that is kind of a first one of the string pull. And it's kind of interesting because we did not put any silicone or anything, but the Floetrol tends to create a few kind of cells on their own. So we got a little bit of cell action and a little bit of cell action just with the Floetrol on its own. So there we go. That's our first one on a 10 by 10 inch. Now we're actually going to do a string pull on the, we had talked about on dry canvas. Now I'll show you what I mean by that. So there's kind of the color shift effect. It doesn't really show up until it dries. So here is a, I believe this was a swipe. I've had it for like a year or so. It's kind of funky. I don't like it all the way. So what I am going to do is I'm going to do a string pull. I'm going to set this one aside and then do a string pull by putting some Floetrol, just plain Floetrol, no color in it. And I've put it in a cup because it's just easier to manage on the camera, but it's just plain old Floetrol. Now it looks white. It looks totally white. Now I did this a couple weeks ago and I showed the dried results on last week's stream. So last week's stream, you can go back and see this. When Floetrol dries, it dries perfectly clear. So it looks all cloudy and it makes the pour all cloudy right now, but you're going to actually be able to see those up through there. So we're going to do a string pull with a little bit of pearl white and a little bit of that color shift just on the top of this already dried canvas. And the Floetrol is self-leveling, so get it as best as you can, but it really won't show streaks or anything. It's really kind of forgiving. So, all right, there, it looks a mess right now. It looks so messy with the Floetrol, but it will dry clear. So we've got just kind of this real nice, sheer, smooth kind of string. It came in like a kid's craft, like a little beading kid's craft thing. I'm going to cut off, about a foot or so. This is an 8 by 10 inch. So we are going to do with the pearl white. We're putting just down on our just a little bit of pearl white, a little bit of the purple flash color shift. No silicone again. And then, or no, that was the plum flash. This is the purple flash. It's a little bit more neon brighter. And these will dry somewhat translucent. But so the flowers we do will dry kind of translucent, but it'll give a dimension on top of the already dried pour that was nice, but it needed a little something more. So thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay. Joanne still carries the Craft Essentials. It's been so long since I've been actually out and about and seen anything. I order online mainly. So, yeah, that's where, okay. Craft Essentials is Joanne's. So Craft Smart is Michael's. So, all right. Thank you so much. I knew there was one of them. I get them all because Craft Smart, Craft Essentials, they have so many different paint brands. So now we've got our string. I'm going to go ahead. This one, I'm going to put the whole in and just hold on to one end. That last one, I held on to the whole thing. But this one, we're going to dunk in and not hold both ends. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just do the basic, back and forth, back and forth. and then pulling it down through. Oh, the string is very stiff. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is kind of get that string wet. It was kind of dry and stiff. Let's do that again. See how stiff that string was? Still pretty dry. Give it a good dunk. Let's do that again. That's okay. All right. So it's hard to see on the camera right now, but because it's that color shift, very translucent. Just gonna keep on layering up, and that it does look a mess with the white, but that will dry completely clear. We're gonna go ahead and keep on layering that. Just a second, just wiping my hands. Such a messy tool though. messy, not tool, but messy technique. You're hooked on the online shopping now. Yes. So much easier, huh? So we are going to put just a little bit more. For some reason, we don't have very much of the pearl down right there. We'll go ahead and put a little bit more, just dipping that in there. I have got the just yarn now. I didn't like how that was doing with that other string. Look at how much better the yarn does. So, all right, now we're just squeezing that off. And then you can use this as like skins to make jewelry. It peels right off of these plastic. You can use plastic cutting boards from the Dollar Tree. You can use the plastic that comes, like if you buy 16 by 20 canvases or larger, sometimes there'll be like a plastic sheet in there. Works perfect to like dip off of or string pull off of. Use, reuse whatever packaging, whatever you have. There's lots of, the harder plastic packaging that comes on the front of like stuff. So next week, I will not be going live on Wednesday. I will try to go live possibly Thursday or Friday of next week, but I may just take a week off. We've got a lot going on family-wise next Wednesday. We're going to be busy, so I'm just letting you all know next week I will not be live on Wednesday. I'm just putting the same colors down, just a little bit more to do a little bit more at the bottom here. The same canvas. And then next, I think we'll try to do a butterfly. And to tell you guys honestly, I have never string pulled, or actually I think we're going to do a chain pull butterfly. I've never done one. We're going to do one very first time here on here in just a little bit. So we'll see if it works. So this is kind of hard to see, but we are, when it dries, it'll dry clear on the background, and then you'll be able to see that color shift really pop up. And I will show that when it's all dry. And always remember, acrylic pours do take a while to dry. And you can do other techniques on top of a dry pour with Floetrol. You don't have to just do a string pull. I've done blown flowers. I've done swipes. I've done all kinds of different techniques on the top of an already dried paint pour. So I let it dry for several weeks, the bottom one. Then you put a layer of Floetrol, and then you can go to town and do any sort of technique. You don't have to just do a string pull. So what sort of techniques, Janice, have you been doing on dried with Floetrol? The string pulls, or have you tried any other techniques? So look, when I squeegee off those extra, I'm getting cells like crazy, really pretty. So we're actually going to set this one aside. We're done with this one. It's kind of hard to see with the color shift and the Floetrol, but I will try to show you this one. Even towards the end of the live stream, you'll be able to see some of it drying. So I'll show you that here in a few. I'm going to grab, oh, with my gloves, I cannot grab this. Okay, set this one aside. Sorry about my reach there. All right, so we have one of these 6 by 6 inch do the grocery pickup from Walmart. Yeah, that's about the most. Mike goes out for the shopping. I really don't go out at all. Tomorrow I'm going to get my first vaccine. Mike's going to get his second vaccine, so I'll be going out to do that. Yeah, the Walmart pickup has been amazing. Oh, you're going to get back to your cleaning. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. So we got a 6 by 6 inch, one of those deep canvases. We're going to try to do one of these chain pull. We're going to set this aside and do a chain pull butterfly for the first time. We've never done one, but we're going to do this. Okay, so we've got just a regular old like ball chain. And you can, I've used this one a couple of times, let it wash it off, and then just use it over and over again. So just the string and chain pull, doing lots of flowers. Awesome. Great time of year to do some beautiful flowers. Yes. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and flood the canvas with white. Just our same white base, titanium white, mixed the same as all of our other colors. Spread that white out. Nice deep canvas, so want to make sure you get down all the sides. Much easier right now to get those sides taken care of than it is later on. All right, you just need a nice thin base layer. You don't need a ton. We've seen here how it kind of messes with you if you put too thick of a base layer. When you go to pull your chain or your string, you're gonna pull on too much of that base layer. So nice, even, thin layer. Now we are going to, I think I'm going to, I'm trying to figure out what color would be best. There it is, black. Okay, so we're going to do a string or a chain pull butterfly. So I'm going to do the outline right here on the, right like that. And then we are going to put, I've got some just leftover yellow and orange. I'm just going to put a couple of drops of mainly the orange, just barely any yellow in here. Then we're going to pull the chain. I'm trying to add both the words string and chain together. We're going to pull the chain through that. So yes. Now we're going to put a little bit of the plum and we'll pull the chain through each side and through into the middle. All right, so I was thinking just maybe a drop or two of this real bright kind of fuchsia. It's that rouge from Master's Touch, just a little bit of that, plenty of paint. Now we're going to take our chain and we're going to just kind of set it on outside beyond the black. And this is another one where we're going to hold each side. So we're going to just kind of do an outline. And then pull it towards the center. All right, now I'm going to kind of wipe the excess off the chain. Pull the other side, then I'm going to fix the center a little bit. And we'll kind of fix the center to, all right, so same thing with that other side on the outside, just beyond the black. And I just wiped off the excess. Okay, so that one side, I was like, all right, that one turned out. So we're going to go ahead and fix this up a little bit. That is the first try. This is the first try I've ever done. That kind of messed up the one side, but we can kind of try to save it a little. I honestly think I might go ahead and pull through that side just a little bit more. So that kind of disastered, huh, guys? So who I've seen do this is Fiona Acrylics. So I'm kind of trying to mimic her results, but hers are so much prettier than mine. That was kind of funny how it just ended up. The one side, I was like, all right, we did all right. But now that didn't work out. So I'm just bringing the all right. One thing is I think I have you want less is more with the paint. I really think less is more with the paint on this one. So I'm going to wipe the chain a little bit the best you can. You can't clean it the best. And how can we salvage this one? See how we now have quite a bit of paint there in the center. That's kind of our issue. So I actually think I'm going to just set this aside and mess with it off camera here in a little bit. I'm not sure what I should do. What do you guys think? Should we try to just... See, there's just so much paint in the middle. All right, so what we're gonna try that again with much less paint. I think that's our issue, but that's the first time. I mean, hey. So we've got this. And then we're going to do a swirl one in the middle. And we've got another one that's with already a dry paint pour on it. So I am going to put down the same colors. We're going to try that with the same colors, but just less. But I think I can make something out of that here in a minute. Okay. Let me wipe the chain off before it gets too drying on there so it's ready to go for us. Okay, so we got a nice wiped off chain. Now we're going to do the same colors. Oh, if Mr. Doughboy was there, he would say, throw it at Mike. Oh, my. So, okay. We just do one little drop on each one is what we're going to do. One drop there. So we're just going to try little drops, much less paint. See if we can do that. Yeah, that I see potential, definitely. So that's why I'm like, okay, we'll try this again. And Fiona Acrylics, she does just some gorgeous butterflies. So I thought, I'll try that. But I think definitely I could see there was too much paint. But when I pulled that first side, I was like, all right, might be able to do this. And then that second one, it was like, oh no. So, all right, we'll try this again, a little less paint. I still might have too much. I think the black honestly comes out so quickly. But okay, wiping this side clean. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. And it's also hard with a butterfly. You want to make, I think I could easily do a butterfly that's just like the half the butterfly on there. It's getting the matching, the two sides to match up. So I can see what would be the difficult part about this. Okay, better, but yeah, I can see where the difficult part was to match up the two sides. How does she match it up? Kind of make it. So we're going to mess around with that one. But you know what I'm going to do just for on camera? We're going to go ahead and just kind of make this an abstract. We're going to just forget the butterfly and just kind of, we're going to just start messing around now and just kind of, I was just seeing if maybe if I just did some swirls, what that would look like. But see, now you can just mess around. I honestly never really scrape canvases. I just pour over the top. I just mess around. Yeah, and you can just work the paint. I mean, know that I've got some plum colors and some oranges, and so it is going to somewhat mix in there, make some muddy, funky colors, but you can have fun with it. Yes, this is the Whimsy chain pull. I think I'm gonna leave it at about that. But that just is kind of some abstract. I will have to mess around with the butterfly technique. I think I'm going to try it on a little bit of a larger canvas. It is hard to kind of get the two matching sides both times. The first one, I actually liked the first side, the left side, better than I even the second attempt. The first one, the left side, I was like, all right, I got this. But then that right side just totally messed up. Now, again, the left side looked a little better than the right side, but I think the first was that very first, that left side looked the best. But I kind of like the fun, just wild. Now, we are getting a little bit of cell action, and that's just with the Floetrol. There's no, but I like the fun, crazy color combination on this and just kind of the abstract kind of fun with that, but that's a little different. So, all right, let's go ahead, move this over just a little bit. I want to go ahead and do another one that's on a dried canvas. So this is a pretty large one. This is, I believe, a 12 by 12. Yeah, 12 by 12. So this one dried all right. It was I believe, a straight pour. I kind of did some funny stuff on the outside. But see, what happened was is this one got leaned up against another painting. Right across here, it has a little bit of kind of damage there. So no big deal. We're just going to kind of, and it kind of is just not the best, but it's all right. We're going to go ahead and flood this with Floetrol. The Floetrol will dry clear. I'll go ahead and show you that other one here in a minute because it is already kind of drying a little bit. So nice clean palette knife, and we'll spread that Floetrol out. And then we're going to do kind of a spiral kind of in the middle of this, kind of just to give it a little depth. It also, we're going to do something on the edges to kind of try to cover up that right across there where it got stuck to another painting. That's a bummer, but sometimes that happens. I do store my paintings with, I buy freezer paper, and I put the kind of the plasticky portion of the freezer paper up against the paintings, but that's after they've dried a good, and you always want to store them vertical. Do not stack them. The weight of them, no matter what you really will put in between, will not be a good deal. But I store them vertical and put freezer paper in between is how I do it. So that's Floetrol. It will dry clear here. Just, and you don't have to be super particular about getting it, but somewhat, you know, in the same. So what we're going to do now is do a spiral in the center, but we're going to go ahead and put down our yarn. Yeah, fun to sometimes just go abstract with it. You love that abstract? I love it because it's kind of a different color combination for me. So that was kind of fun. And so that's, you just go with it and totally go abstract. That's what I kind of been doing. I don't really scrape them. I just kind of have fun and try some new techniques, experimental stuff. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and put the string down, and then we're going to put the paint down and lift it up that way. So we're just going to kind of do a big spiral. All right. So now I'm going to grab some of the pearl. And I'm just doing a little, just along the edge of the, and we'll pull it through that. Right snug up against the, and I'm not going all the way because I'm going to grab a hold of it right there. So now I'm going to put down a little bit of that color shift. Just like a small string of it. I'm going a little bit quicker so that it, just a little string of it. I kind of just want the center with this color, but not really the rest of it. But more the rest of it with this light pinky. And this will just give it kind of some depth on there. All right, and I'm going to throw in just a little bit of black. All right. Now I'm going to grab it from this end and lift up and try not to trip in there and pull the string around. Now all of that Floetrol is going to dry clear. And I know I keep saying that because it looks just funky right now. See, and I let that fall. That's okay. We can fix that because we need to fix those edges anyways. We'll just say that's on purpose, huh? Just swirling that around in the center, creating there. And then lift somewhat quickly because, all right, so now we have those edges. Now we got to do something. We have like that green. I don't want to use one with silicone. It's hard to remember. That's also one of the reasons I don't put silicone in my bottle. It's hard to remember. I'm just going to do a slight kind of string pull on. So the part right here was that I want it to kind of all match. So I'm just literally going to do a slight string pull, chain pull probably here on those edges to kind of create somewhat of a leaf look. All right, so that is over the top, and that kind of gives some depth. Now that's just a second layer. We can do in a couple weeks, we can do a third, a fourth layer. But you can already see a couple of spots where the Floetrol dries. But so I dropped the string right there, but no big deal. It'll be just a little bit of, you got to kind of hold on to it a little bit better than I did, but no big deal. But now we're going to do another one of those like we just did, where it's kind of a spiral in the middle. But I'm going to do it kind of like double layered up. And it's going to be on a, not on a dried paint pour. It's going to be on a new canvas. So you can do different techniques. Now, if you let this completely dry and then do another layer and you just kind of create depth, 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 it's kind of cool. So in a couple of weeks, we'll do another layer on this one. Real quick, you can kind of see how the Floetrol is starting to dry, and the background is kind of peeking up through now on this one. That's one we did earlier. That's with color shift on top. Okay, so we're going to use those same colors pretty much. And we got to make lots of room because we have a 14 by 14 inch canvas. Now this is going to be our last one. And we are not going to be going live next week. So I won't be live again for 2 more weeks, guys. I might be live next week on just pop in, a surprise one. Oh, I didn't know it went out of focus. So sorry, guys. I wasn't paying attention there. Get something on the camera to get it to focus on. All right. Sorry, guys. When I take the painting off the camera, it goes out of focus. And then I've got stuff on my hands here. All right. Let's go ahead and get our white base down. Just use the last of that white up. Is it way blurry? Sorry. It's not been doing that, so I think I let my guard down and I don't think about it, and then I look up and I'm like, oh no. Sometimes if I leave my hand here, it leaves something for it to kind of focus on. Okay, we're going to do that same kind of technique where we lay the yarn down and then put the, here, I'm going to go ahead and get some of this white. We've got too much white. And you can just scrape it right back off into your cup. All right. Don't waste the paint. I really try not to waste any, all my drips, everything. Use them all. Okay, we're going to do another spiral right there in the center. We're going to use this kind of thinner, real thin string. This is going to be our last one for today. And I'm going to not go like exactly a circle, kind of. Kind of like that. All right, let's wipe hands clean. Ah, sorry about that, guys. Hey, Mr. Doughboy. Oh no, you had a dream about Mr. Mike. Should I be concerned? All right, so we're going to pull it. I'm trying to think. We want to put the color. It does not want to come out of this one. We're going to pull it through the color. Nice light pink. I believe this is poodle pink. And then we're going to do some gold. And then we'll pull the string through that. And we got a small string, so we got to go kind of slow, real delicate look. All right, a little bit of It is a warm day here in the Northwest. Beautiful day. Warm to me. I melt when it gets this hot. It's not even that hot. I say it's a warm day though. And just a little bit of black. And these ones are a little bit easier to do on a smaller canvas where you can get out your, if you have a cake spinner or something like that, to spin it around. It's what it is I have it on a Logitech webcam, and the Logitech site seems to update constantly. So if you do an automatic update, if the Logitech site updates and then you don't turn the autofocus off, so I actually used to have a little post-it note on my screen: when starting a live stream, turn off autofocus. But then I get so used to it just turning off automatically that I forget to check every single time. But it's when Logitech does an update, it reverts back to autofocus. I'm drowning in a passion purple paint. Oh my. So I'm going to delicately try to grab, I'm going to go ahead and just take off this glove. I'm going to now try to grab the string. Pull it up through this. Okay, so this small of a string isn't really, it's beautiful, but we're going to pull a string through that again. I think this is going to be a double string pull, which I've done those too. Well, so your dream was that you saved Mike, though. Well, thank you, I guess, for saving Mike. That's very good. But I wonder what he was doing in the bucket of paint. All right, we did it pretty good. We did manage to get 2 drips, drip there and drip there. No big deal. We can make that, especially because it's on the outside, thankfully. But not too bad with that small of a string. But look at how many cells kind of popped up. We have no Floetrol, so we really shouldn't be having too much cells at all, but kind of cool. I thought about grabbing another string and just kind of pulling a little bit out some of the edges. So we're just going to randomly go around and pull some of these spots. But yeah, if you have a smaller canvas or a cake spinner that will do a large canvas like this, it is a little bit easier with this technique if you can spin the cake spinner around as you kind of, but we make it work. But look how many cells are kind of popping up. That is interesting. But that can also be the densities of your paint. And using the gold with the black and has kind of created some cells for us. Kind of nice little surprise, which is sometimes a nice surprise. Sometimes you don't want them and you can't get rid of the cells. And then sometimes I just can't stop messing with it, and I just want to keep on messing with it. So, loving those mixtures of those colors, though. That's really nice. You can actually hear the autofocus motor where, that's interesting because it's not really, it's a Logitech camera. It's a Logitech, it's the newer Logitech. It doesn't really make any noise. Interesting. Yeah, another cool idea. You can go, I mean, every single one of the paint pour techniques, you can kind of just change up different little subtle ways to make it look like a total different look. That's what's so fun about fluid acrylics and paint pouring is just subtle little changes can do just whole different look. I'm just going to go ahead and cover up that and just swipe it right off. I'm going to put some more white down. You might hear the actual computer running because it's a Logitech camera and then it's hooked up to the computer. So I'm not sure if maybe you hear you might hear the actual computer running. I dripped again right there. Yeah, a lot of paint up your nose. Oh my. That's funny. So you can just do that to fix the spot, or you can go ahead. Which string was I just last using? Where did that go? Well, I was going to use the string, but I don't even know where the string went. Oh gosh. I don't even know where I put that little piece of string. I'll go ahead and grab this one. This one will work just the same, but I was going to go ahead and pull on this little drip. So you can fix your mistake on the outside there by go ahead and put some more white, or you can just pull it. You can do either one. I would honestly probably still mess with this and do some more detail pulling, but some interesting cells popping up. That's a mixture of using the different densities of paints with metallics, blacks. They really create some fun effects together. So, and I like these colors are really fun. So, all right, guys. That an hour goes by so quick, but I guess it does when you're having fun. So next week, I'm not going to be live. And then the following week is actually going to be, so I'm going to take a break from doing like each week techniques. I'm going to now go over, so in 2 weeks, I'm going to go over like frequently asked questions and kind of troubleshooting. So kind of, why do you get cracks in your paint? How can you stop your paint from cracking? How long does a paint pour dry? Just all kinds of little, what is the difference between crazing and cracking? I've got lumps in my paint that you need to strain your Floetrol probably. Just like frequently asked questions. We're going to go over the color wheel 1 week and just talk about color theory and things like that. So instead of techniques, now we're going to go into just kind of answering some frequently asked questions, troubleshooting, that kind of stuff. So that's what will be the next few weeks. But I do have some great videos coming up. I have a split cup that I did with some kind of nice rainbow sherbet, kind of tropical colors split cup. I have a dirty pour what I did with those same colors, kind of a rainbow sherbet tropical dirty pour. I have, I don't know, I think I have about 3 or 4 videos to getting ready to edit and release. So, all right, guys. I'm going to try to pop on live next week, just at a random day, random time, but I will not be live at my regular Wednesday scheduled time next week. It'll just be some random surprise live. So if I do that, if not, it'll be in 2 weeks. So, okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and let me know if you have any questions or anything before I take off out of here. Oh, thank you so much. And I look forward to hanging out with all you guys. I look forward to it each week. I get nervous. I'll tell you honestly, I do get nervous about going live. But at the same time, I also look forward to it. I don't get out a lot in socializing. So it's nice to sit here and chat with you all and get a chance to kind of socialize with you all and chat. So I do look forward to it. So thank you so much for hanging out with us every week and chatting with us. It really is appreciated, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. So, all right, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And so we'll be live again in 2 weeks for sure, if not before then. So you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a good one. Oh, no, Mr. Doba, you not offend. No, it's okay. It's all right. Oh, it's a new somebody just coming in. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, I knocked over a paint. It's fine. I just knocked over a bottle of paint. But I'm actually was just getting out of here. I was been on live for about an hour. We try to keep it at about 45 minutes to an hour. So I do leave them on for the replay. But thank you so much for coming. I'm doing really well. I hope you're doing well as well. But I was actually just putting on the ending the stream right then. So sorry about that. But thank you so much for stopping by. So you guys have an awesome week. Thank you so much. And be the change you want to see in the world, guys. Be the change you want to see in the world. So important. Much love to everyone.